Hello everyone. Today we're going to be looking at a scenario where what if civilization started over episode 2. Now, civilization just started in the last episode and it expanded pretty greatly. First, we had this red Italian country pop up, and they were really the first civilization until the blue Iberian country popped up. Then a couple years later, we had the orange Germanic country pop up. These guys are pretty strong for how small they are. And then I'm pretty sure we had mass migration from the red team down into this southern pink Italian team. Then we had some Germanic explorers go down into the French region, but they got lost, so they created their own country. And then when the blue Iberian country sent explorers, east, and the Italian country sent explorers west. They found each other. They met up. They started kind of having an argument, kind of. But then the military of both of these two, which popped up in this area, just rebelled against them. And this is just a country fully ran by a military. If you guys like this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and let's get into it. The first thing is more exploration of Europe. This center little exclave gets fully explored, so now there's no empty spot. And this red Italian team is going to do a lot more exploring. They're actually going to make a pretty big spearhead up to discover more of Europe. And they're also, they're going to colonize, they're going to get some land down over here. They're going to go up, and they're becoming a pretty big country. I mean, the Alps are kind of stopping them from expanding up this way, but they're still going to go around. They're going to go around the Alps. But we do have the creation of a new country. So, the backstory of this country is going to be people from the pink, red, and any other country want to move into more of a southern area. So these people are going to start a little civilization inside of the Greek peninsula. Now, the red team did see these people, and they did see them go down. So colonizers did follow them. Oh crap. Colonizers did follow them down in there, and they got this land, but the rest is going to go over to the new country. Oh, also, I also added capitals to each of the countries. They're probably not as big as capitals today, but they're just like the biggest city inside of these countries. But the red team is going to they're going to invade this new country. They're going to begin an invasion, and this is like the first war that we're going to see, and they begin to go down. But then the population of this, who does not want to be a part of the red country, starts pushing back, and they actually are pretty strong. Well, it's just the population. They don't really want to be a part of the red team. And so once they get about up here, the red team is going to be like, okay, just go. I don't care. And so before they make a capital and before I put a capital down, they're going to explore around, just have some fun. Then they discover this little area up here. It's a pretty good area. So they're going to explore up a little bit. Then they go and they take all of it. They don't, a lot of citizens moved down into this country. So now we have a little golden Greek country. I'm going to put their capital right in Athens. So we have our first new country. And here's what the world looks like now. And now I'm going to do power rankings because I feel like we need to set in stones how strong some of these countries are. So I'm going to say the strongest country on this map is the blue Iberian country. The second, now I was going to say the red team, but they did just get beat by a new Greek country, so I'm going to actually give it to the Germanics. Then number 3 I'll give to the red team. Number 4 I'm gonna give it to the military country, only because it's a country fully ran by a military. They don't have many regular citizens. I mean, they do because you have to have a population. But number 5 is going to be the French country. Number 6 will be this country, and since they just formed, the Greek country is number 7. Speaking of the Blue Iberian country, they managed to finally take over these mountains, and they're beginning their conquest of mainland Europe, and they're starting to go up, but then something happens. The Lime team is going to cut them off from going any further up into Europe. And the Blue team is going to look at the Lime, and they are thinking about going to war with them. But then they remember that their own citizens and their own military personnel live in this country. They were the ones who rebelled, and well, if this country were to hurt members of their own country, who knows if the population would like that. So they're going to be like, okay, we're going to look somewhere else. We're going to look at Africa. So they send a ship and they make landing in Africa. They start just going around. They're just colonizing a little bit. This isn't really colonization because way too early for colonization. But yeah, the blue team, they haven't really seen this. A couple of them get eaten by lions, so there's not much. They're kind of freaking out right now. But yeah, they have a nice little foothold in Africa now. Now, the red team is going to see this, and of course, they get jealous. So, of course, they're going to send a little thing out to Africa. They actually land in Tunisia, where the blue team was, and they actually fight off some troops. But this is the most that they're going to, like, fight each other, only because there's this thing in between, and they don't really want to fight a naval battle because they're not that sophisticated yet. So they're just going to let it go, and the red team is going to expand along Tunisia and Libya. But even though the red team did get some new land, some people in their country are not going to be happy that they did this. Mainly a whole group of different ethnicities, mainly, is going to break away from the red team. And the red team did not see this coming. And this team is going to blitz up and kind of start taking land. But then something else happens. We have a light yellowish country popping up, and these two are actually going to start fighting each other. And the red team is going to be kind of shocked by this, and they're just going to say, we grant you independence. Because most of their military is down in Africa, because after they saw some lions just completely eating the blues, they're going to get kind of scared and send their whole military. With these two getting independence, this team is going to expand, and they are kind of just going to leave the Yugoslav country alone. Yep, that's what I'm going to call it. The maroon Yugoslav country. And after a little bit, these borders are going to look like this. Going to place a capital there and there. Let's go up to Germany. Let's go see what the Germans are doing. So the Germans, they're going to start exploring a lot of Europe. In fact, they explore so much that they go as far as Kaliningrad. And yeah, they're making some pretty big areas inside of these new found and discovered areas. So a ton of Europe is now discovered, and the orange team is of course going to start colonizing because they haven't expanded in a long time, and they are going to expand very rapidly. They're going to bolt across and start discovering more. They just need land. They're hungry for more land, and this is where they're going to stop because a new country is going to form. We have a yellow country popping up inside of, I guess, like Prussia, and it's going to take over this whole area. And now the Germans, they're not going to care because this is like, it's still their people. It's just a little different. But they're going to make their capital in Kaliningrad. And so these two are actually going to share pretty positive relations. They're going to start trading with each other, which is always good. And, yeah. And then we have, oh, whoops, we have a giant exploration involving a ton of European countries to discover almost the rest of mainland Europe. It's not going to be the rest because Russia and Scandinavia, but it's going to be a lot. The Yugoslav country is going to get in, and it's just going to be a massive discoveration of Europe, and a lot of mainland Europe is now discovered. And the French have also been going to work on the UK, and they managed to discover all of the UK and Ireland. So they're gonna, of course, start colonizing. They're gonna make some nice little colonies inside of Britain, but then a new country forms inside of Britain. The Britain forms. Yay. Yay. Almost immediately after this country forms, it falls apart. We have Scotland seceding from this country. Gonna look something like this. We have Wales actually getting quite a bit of land from this like British country. And then we also have Ireland just becoming its own little nation. So this is now kind of looking like real life, but I need to place capitals down. So the capitals of these nations, well, we're gonna put London's there. We're gonna put Scotland's up here, Wales, and Ireland. So here is the new map of the world. Who knows what they know exists, but something in Africa is about to happen. We have a giant exploration of Africa. They haven't really explored much of Africa, but now they're sending scouts out to explore. The Golden Greek country actually sends some scouts into Africa, surprisingly. Didn't expect them to do it. They also managed to discover Crete and more islands inside of the Aegean Sea. So they colonize those, and they make it across and begin discovering places inside of Turkey. So now we have an official country that has been inside of Turkey. Cyprus is discovered. And soon we have the Golden Greek country taking over these lands. And this country is becoming really strong really fast because of how many people moved there. It is the most populated country in the world at this point, and it is looking to be a superpower. So we have them actually exploring more of Europe. Since they have so much population, they have so many scouts going out at the same time. We also got some inside of Turkey still going. They're not really more worried about Turkey. They just wanted to completely encapsulate the Aegean Sea, and very soon, over a couple years, they are managed to map out all of Turkey. We have the Germans going into Scandinavia. They start entering into Sweden. They go up into Norway. And just, yeah, they start discovering this giant island is discovered. And yeah, it's going good. And of course, they're gonna, I mean, you can't not take Scandinavia. So they're gonna take Stockholm. Well, not Stockholm, but whatever that island is. And they're just gonna make a nice little area inside of Scandinavia. They're going to take over the Norwegian parts, explore a little bit more, because can't do. I mean, they're going to take Stockholm as well. So they have a pretty big colony inside of Scandinavia. But yeah, it's going good for the Germans. They're also going to take this island. The Eastern Germans managed to go up inside of Estonia and Finland. And we have some, well, first off, we have some people from almost every single nation inside of Europe besides of like Germany, and Britain. They decide to move east. They want to go east. So they start discovering areas. It's kind of just a straight line. They go down into Crimea and discover the whole peninsula. And some of them decide this is where they want to live. So they start a Crimean nation. It starts going around and it kind of just goes around the Black Sea. And this is what they're going to keep for now. I mean, not a lot of people decided to stay there, but it's enough to start a little tiny nation. And very soon, this area of the Balkans is discovered, and the world is getting mapped out very quickly. And finally, we have the explorationists still going east. They make it to the Persian Gulf, the Caspian Sea, and they just start, exploring it. Then they go down and meet up with the Greeks. And the Greeks also send an explorationist up. Very soon, this whole area is discovered. So now, all of this is discovered, and this is where the video is going to end. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want more videos like this, and I'll see you again later. Goodbye.